Welcome to Two Women in Crypto, a weekly podcast birthed on a whim by two women who are excited about the cryptocurrency landscape and have a shared passion about empowering others to step into the digital, tokenized world of the future. We offer tips, tricks, and our own individual insights as to how to begin to navigate this shift. We are not financial advisors nor experts. We are just here to encourage you to look at the possibilities. So welcome to the future. You're right on time.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. You have the beautiful sun beaming down on your face.
I sure do. I sure do. So this is like the only place I actually have internet where we can record. So
Sure. No, it's perfect. It's lovely because it's still dark here and we have been thrust into the throes of winter. So I will take any sunshine that I can. So thank
here
you.
we go. The sun is beaming like right in this one spot.
It is perfect. So I know there's so much going on. You're going to catch us up, but I want to do some housekeeping just real quick on the front side and to let you know that we're all having our Q&A this Saturday. It's $10. You can find all the details on our website, twowomenencrypto.com, under classes and events. And it's always fun to have the community come together and just talk about what's on their mind, because there's a lot out there for us to chat about. So anyway, if you would like to join us, we would love to see your face. It would be awesome.
Yep. I'm super excited. So, and I will be in the woods doing the Q&A tomorrow. So
nice.
Yep. Yeah, we're going camping. So super
Good
excited. All right. So are we ready to jump in and talk about top coins we should be accumulating during the
Yes, I'm super excited about it. We haven't revisited the coin list for a while, so this will be great to see what's still on the list. And I think a majority of them are still on, plus a few newer ones, if you will. So yes, take it away.
Yeah. So it's really hard. Like I compiled a list of 10 coins, and like Kelly and I were chatting like right before we were going live, and it's like there's so many more than just 10 coins.
Yeah.
But
that's why our portfolios, and again, this is not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes only, but that's why we have a very diverse portfolio that I'm still trying to hone in. But when you listen to this list, it's really hard not to get excited about every single one.
Yeah. So let's just jump in with the first one. I think it's really important during a bear market. A lot of times people don't buy Bitcoin because, it reaches like such high numbers. Like we saw Bitcoin hit 69,000 at the peak of the bull market. And now it was trading at just over $20,700 this morning. So I actually jumped online and checked. And I think that should be everyone's number one coin to accumulate when prices are so low. Dollar cost average in, the bottom might be in, but I don't think it is. And I don't know because I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know if you think the bottom's in, Kelly, but we're moving up. We're moving up a little bit, but we have elections coming up. There's a lot of things going on. And I do think the market's going to drop at least one more time. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. We have elections. We have the eclipse season to still get through, and it's pretty typical that we still have a bit of a bearish move towards the end of the year, just in generalities. So,
right.
I think
if we're in this bear market for the next couple months, we dollar cost average for the next couple months. And the reason why I chose Bitcoin to be the number one coin is because it is the sovereign coin. It's the coin that people go to in times of uncertainty and crisis.
Well, and Bitcoin has been relatively stable versus the regular indices, which is the first time really in history that has happened. Typically, they'll kind of move in tandem, but as of late, you'll see Bitcoin really kind of just trying to find its bottom, if you will, and the indices are still on a roller coaster ride. So, which is pretty telling, I think.
Yeah, it's such a good point. And a lot of the coins that I chose is based on institutional adoption. Okay. Because there's so many coins out there that are, I mean, such potential, some of these projects,
Sure.
such potential. And a lot of these blockchains are going to connect. So it's hard not to pick them all.
Right. Absolutely.
So again, Bitcoin's number one. Ethereum would be my number two coin. And the reason for this is, again, we have mass institutional adoption. Fidelity just launched its Ethereum, trust. So now institutional investors can buy Ethereum through Fidelity Digital Assets. So really big news there. And moving from proof of work to proof of stake as they go through their upgrade, and they just went through like an EIP 1559 upgrade, and it's actually causing Ethereum to be deflationary. And with that staking component now with proof of stake, I think it's jumped in the past week over 11%.
Yeah, I've been watching Ethereum too. That's something that I think, yeah, will definitely be. I was curious what your thoughts were about the proof of stake versus proof of work and how that kind of removes that Ethereum being the mafia of the blockchain in terms of fees and things of that nature. Do you have any thoughts of that? Because some people have stayed away from Ethereum outside of just their need to use it to move things around.
Yeah. And again, I think when I look at Ethereum, it has a lot of problems. And when I look at Amazon and I saw how long it took for Amazon to be where it is today, it was over 20 years. So Ethereum's fees are high. And that's why, we even have Matic on the list. And that's going to help with the scaling. And as Ethereum goes through its proof of stake upgrades, the scalability component will be wrapped in, which will reduce the fees.
Right.
But you're right. I mean, the average fee for an Ethereum transaction is $40. And we saw during the bull market, sometimes the fees were over $150. You and I were walking away from trades based solely on ETH fees.
Right. I mean, they were holding people hostage, but I mean, it's part of the game, especially at that time and at any time. But it is nice to think that those fees will begin to get reduced. And that's just going to come with regulation and stabilization in the market anyway.
And we need scalability, right? So, let's just jump into Matic real quick. So, when I look at Ethereum, and I like Ethereum because, one, we have mass institutional adoption. It's already chosen to be a winner, right? The other thing is most of the developers develop on Ethereum. This hasn't changed. So I'm looking for a shift of where these developers are going to go and what other blockchains will they move to develop on, because there's really promising blockchains that are rising. Like ETH might be king today, but it may not be forever, right? Kind of like Napster, right?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, who knows what's going to happen, but that was so promising and everybody was using it and it kind of fizzled out. But, one of the reasons why I chose Matic, because it provides that layer 2 scalability solution, which in theory will reduce fees. So if we think about everybody's on the highway and they're all, using Ethereum, the highway gets jammed up. There's congestion. Here comes Matic, and it's burrowing tunnels and overpasses to create more lanes for transactions to reduce that congestion. Love Matic. It's under $1.
Yeah.
And the adoption with Matic is like just the people behind it. You know what I mean?
So Matic is also known as Polygon. So for those that, and if you want to do some research, and this is something that we really are huge proponents of, is go to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, either one. But I go to CoinGecko, and that's where we find our links on certain coins to go to, because it's really easy for hackers and things of that nature to mirror websites. But if you really want to do the due diligence and read the white paper, which is all about what the coin is and how they kind of got into the whole process, that is where I would suggest you go, because we do encourage you to do your own research. We're just sharing some details. So yeah, Matic and Polygon, one and the same.
Yep. Yep. No, it's so good. It's so good. And with Matic too, it's like they partnered up with Reddit. Okay. And I actually took notes about Reddit. So Reddit has 52 million daily active users per day. They had $350 million in revenue back in 2021. Now they built their blockchain on Polygon.
I didn't know that. I'm a Reddit user, but I'm not extraordinarily active on anything. But wow, I did not know that they were on Polygon.
And it was really interesting because in the beginning, a lot of the Reddit users weren't really for NFTs, but because Reddit brought the blockchain to their platform, and now the avatars, and they created a wallet called Vault, you can store your NFTs now in your crypto wallet, on Matic.
On Reddit?
Yep, on Reddit using Polygon's blockchain.
Interesting.
So 2.5 million customers on Reddit have already created a wallet.
That is awesome news.
Yep.
Very cool.
And it was really neat because they did kind of like a marketing campaign where they dropped like 40,000 NFTs ranging from like $10 to $100, and it's completely sold out.
Wow.
So let's not forget about these like NFTs, digital art, loyalty rewards. Again, with same with Polygon, with Matic. Starbucks, we did the podcast, like, would you like a latte with your NFT? Starbucks is partnered with Polygon's blockchain for their NFT loyalty rewards program.
Very cool. I'm loving going through these coins. This is fun.
Isn't this fun? Yep.
Yeah.
So, we'll touch base on the news at the end, and we all know this. The world's not doing so good. And to talk about it every week, it creates
right.
Like, I have feelings about it. And sometimes, like, let's just stop and let's just talk about, let's make some money. Okay.
Yeah. There you go. That's exactly it.
We can do with the world outside of us, I mean, case in point, I'm walking my dog the other day, bumped into one of our super lovely neighbors, and we're talking about electric vehicles and the batteries, and her husband doesn't feel like the batteries are good for the environment. And then I said, hey, do you know what a central bank digital currency is? And she's like, huh?
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a learning curve or not. I'm starting to think it's not, right? So it's just what it is. The world is what it is for now. And we are moving into a digital economy.
Yep. Just kind of, it's good. Keep going. Let's keep going through the list.
Let's get our virtual reality, augmented reality gear on and head out to Disney, because they also partnered with Polygon.
Yeah. Nice segue. Cha-ching. If we're on the Late Show, we'd have somebody in the corner doing a drum. Boom, boom,
yeah.
Nice.
Right? So I love Polygon's. I love what they're doing. I love how successful they were, adding the scalability to Ethereum and almost breaking off on its own to really being almost their own blockchain, not a layer 2, but a layer 1. So I love this project a lot. We've talked about this before in the past. Again, these are all up and coming projects. No one knows 100% sure who the winners are, who the losers are. But when we look at some of the institutional adoption, I even think they, Grayscale brought Matic. They have like a Matic trust now. We'll double check, make sure I'm right, but I'm pretty sure they're added as well. So just great to see. Even Meta jumped on board with Instagram to share NFTs, connecting with their users. So whether we like these folks or not, everyone still uses Meta. And again, they're building their blockchain on Polygon. So
Yeah.
under a buck, under a buck. Can you imagine just dollar cost averaging for the next couple months?
No, I mean, yeah, it really, yeah, I have no words actually. It's super exciting because I think the majority of people have been kind of in this holding off pattern, which makes perfect sense, especially because of the conditions and also the way that the fear has been kind of driven stuff down our throats. But yeah, just kind of this week, next week, whatever, taking a moment for myself to just reevaluate what I want to continue to dollar cost average in, because I have been this whole time slowly in certain coins. So yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah,
Super exciting.
definitely. Definitely. So, okay. So now the other coin, this would be my number 3 coin.
Okay.
Boom, 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 XRP. So we're going to talk about XRP. And I've been really sitting a lot with like, what is going on with XRP? Because I have been sending videos to everybody this week. All right. We're talking major marketing campaign, cross-border payments, central bank digital currencies. We're seeing massive marketing in the London underground subway systems, like major marketing.
Yeah, you've been sending me some snapshots. Pretty interesting.
So here's a couple things. Now, I listened to Brad Garlinghouse, and he always talks about we're operating in the United States like we've already lost.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is to Brad, if you're operating in the United States as if your company in XRP has already lost, why are you marketing at Wall Street in the subway system in New York
Right.
City?
Right. One of
Have you really lost?
the most expensive real estate to do any advertising on really is in that area. You know, anytime you're in the tube or anything of that nature, those things come at a very pretty penny. They're very expensive to do. So yeah, I agree.
And it's all about, the future of finance. It's everything is moving to the blockchain, and to see Ripple kind of be promoting this and listening to Brad talk about XRP as the heartbeat of the Ripple network, the heartbeat,
Right. Yeah.
his words,
Yep.
And here's the other thing too, because there's still so many people that just don't like XRP. And my thing is, XRP is what, 40 something cents? I really wouldn't get too crazy over it. Just buy a little bag, throw it on your ledger, and forget about it, right? It's a coin.
Sound like a New Yorker right there. Just buy a little bag, throw it on your ledger, and that was a really bad.
Forget about it. Forget about it. Just leave it there, see what happens. I mean, the bottom line is this. The lawsuit's wrapping up. The judge has the Hinman emails. Again, they're sealed. There's been a lot of redactions, so we don't know 100% yet. And we may never know what those emails actually said. But here's the thing. What other company is standing up and going the distance with the lawsuit to get clarity on this cryptocurrency coin, which will, give clarity to all the cryptocurrency coins?
Mm-hmm.
Ripple spent $100 million in this lawsuit. I think every single person in crypto should be supporting them.
Yeah.
Exposing the SEC, exposing, some of these crazy things that are going on when this agency is supposed to be in existence to protect us.
Good points. Absolutely.
So again, I think that's a really big thing for me to actually, I'm really glad I'm in XRP and I'm supporting this ecosystem. And yeah, and I saw I've been on Twitter a little bit this week because it's like up to date news, and there's so much going on, with XRP. And to see David Schwartz, who's the CTO, he's the Chief Technology Officer of Ripple, great guy. But he posts kind of like these YouTube or little snippet things, and they're like little riddles. And he had like a Chevy Spark like catching on fire, and what airdrop is coming but the Spark token.
Oh yes, okay. Very. Clever.
Very, very clever. Very clever. So again, I think we're going to see something ignite within that Flare ecosystem. I know the airdrop got delayed. We're probably looking at end of first quarter for the airdrop to happen. But again, we have the lawsuit wrapping up. We have the Flare network that brings smart contracts to this ecosystem, and then we'll see the decentralized finance platform get built out of that. Like Songbird is to Kusama, not financial advice, not one of my top coins either, because there's so many. But we're going to look at some of these similarities between other platforms as like Algorand and the Flare network start to become a little bit more mature and build out their DeFi.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. I love it. I love it. So, all right. So here's the other thing I just want to kind of touch base on. We're moving to a new economy that's going to be based on carbon neutrality, carbon-based credit systems. And until I see otherwise, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we're moving to a central bank digital currency because no one knows what it is for now. So we're going to still be in this centralized world, connecting to a decentralized finance world. And then eventually, maybe in 15, 20 years, we'll be all in decentralized finance, right? So, but again, I just don't see the average person being educated, which is why I think if there's a crisis, they'll automatically go to Bitcoin because that's all they know. Maybe Ethereum, but they don't know what XRP is. They never heard of Matic. They don't know that Matic's partnered with Reddit, Walmart, Facebook, like huge things. But like, why, if you're a school teacher, artist, or whatever you are, why would you even know about this stuff, right?
Absolutely. It's like you go to the grocery store, your favorite apple is a Honeycrisp, and you stick with it, and you don't look at the other apples that are sitting they're just as good.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep. It's such a good point. And I'm sure like even with some of the tokens we're going over today, there's other tokens like a Honeycrisp that's just as good. But again, you don't want to put all your money in crypto, right? Because we want to diversify because no one knows for sure what's going to happen,
Exactly.
So cool. All right. But with that said, XRP Ledger, what is the chosen blockchain for the United Nations to bring the carbon neutral blockchain to the United Nations?
You said XRP Ledger. You're just saying XRP Ledger? Because I'm thinking of the wallet ledger when you say that. So,
no, it's the actual blockchain is XRP. Okay. Yep. So that's the deal. It's going to the United Nations. I know that's something we touched base on. It's in our songs,
Yep, sure is.
So I just want to bring that point home because we are moving to a carbon neutral economy, right? We've heard it from BlackRock. We've heard it from all the major players. So again, I think it's just a way for institutional money to make more money. It has nothing to do with the climate. But again, the way they sell it to people, and people have such good hearts and they want to do what's good for the climate and for the world, I think the majority of the people are going to buy into this.
Is that the same as they're going to buy into eating mealworms? Okay, sorry, segue. Keep going.
I think they're gonna. I saw that too. What did they say it tastes like?
Oh my gosh.
It tastes like something that was like common. I forget what it was, but you want to go eat your mealworms. No judgment here.
No judgment. Just keep on. Yeah.
Do what's best for the climate. And don't worry about Augustin Carstens, right? Because he's got all the burgers.
Okay.
All I can say is when I showed my mom the Central Bank song, her immediate reaction was, wow, he's a big man. So maybe the climate situation doesn't protect.
It just reminds me of when we were in high school and we had to make, actually, this was my sister was in high school, so we're going back in years, but she had to make chocolate chip cookies with chopped worms. That was a school project.
Wow.
Yeah, way back then. And they were actually good. We ate them. I wouldn't make a, but yeah, chopped up earthworms.
Packed with protein.
Yep. And our chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah. I don't know why they just don't tell us to like grow beans. But anyway.
Anyway.
What's wrong with beans? Eat a mealworm or a bean? I think I pick a bean.
Yeah, me too.
I love it.
All right.
All right. Full of comic relief here today.
We are.
All right. So I want to touch base on quant. It's a token. I don't even think we've ever even touched base on it, but I can't ignore it any longer.
It's because we have touched a little bit because it's part of the ISO 222.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But go ahead.
It's not a coin that I even hold. But again, I think that quant, it's probably the best performing token so far during the bear market.
Yeah.
I think after it dipped down below 100, now it's trading at like 150, maybe even 175. So I did a deeper dive onto quant, very similar to Cosmos and Chainlink, bringing interoperability to all the different blockchains. And I think that quant can really bring a lot of this interoperability to a lot of the central bank digital currency blockchains that they're going to be implementing. Okay. Also, quant is on the Digital Pound Foundation, partnered with Ripple. All eyes on England right now. Okay.
Undoubtedly.
All eyes on England. Because what do we have? We have the new prime minister. What's his name? Rishi.
I can't remember his last name, but
I have it written down. Rishi Sunak. One of his first speeches was about central bank digital currencies to retail. We are retail.
I thought, he's the first one that has ever come out and pointedly addressed. It's like, you think this wasn't like puppeteered, but wow, isn't that interesting?
Well, talk about puppeteered. I mean, one, he's very Obama-like, right? And he is hand-selected, in my opinion, from the World Economic Forum. Boom, wow, that charismatic, trust me, kind of thing. Very interesting. Very interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if he graduated from one of the, leadership programs or the shapeshifters, not shapeshifters. Yeah. Societal shifters.
Right. No, I agree. It would be interesting,
but really pushing the central bank digital currency and meeting with the G7, which the United States is part of, Japan is part of, right? So we're really kind of, getting everything connected. I don't know. Like Kelly and I were talking, we're trying to speculate, when do we think the central bank digital currency will be rolled out? And in theory, you would think it's down the road, right? Because there's so many things that still have to happen. But how much do they let us know?
Right.
Like we really don't know how far they are with their development. Because I've heard Jerome Powell say, hey, we've been studying and researching blockchain for decades.
Yeah.
And now you're just talking about, hey, we're just looking at this. No decisions have been made.
Yeah, I think we would like to see a slow rollout, but I don't see it being a slow rollout. I think they're just going to go, boom, here it is.
Yeah. And I think there's got to be something major so people don't question it, and that's why, for me, I stopped dollar cost averaging for now. I want to wait till after the elections because, we're so there's just so many factors. We really have to stay on the narrative of the Great Reset with the global government because this is what they want. So when you see a conservative get elected into the UK, she lasted 3 weeks. Like they like ripped her apart. I don't know her. I don't know her. I don't care. I don't care who she is. She lasted 3 weeks. That's super unstable for a country to lose its leader like that, you know? So, and with the United States, you know, again, the Democratic Party, which I don't even think is democratic anymore, it's all the World Economic Forum. Republicans, all the World Economic Forum. We have like maybe 3 people left. So we're going to see what happens, but that the instability of the ups and the downs, you know, so we'll wait and see what happens. But with quant, I really think they're going to be a big part of connecting some of these global systems, and they do it with Overledger blockchain, which is a subscription base. You basically pay for the licensure, and it's super easy to get it connected. And the tokenomics of quant is very similar to Bitcoin. Very similar to Bitcoin. So there's so much speculation that quant can be the next Bitcoin. I don't think it's going to be, but the tokenomics are so similar that can we see a couple $1,000 quant? I think it's very feasible.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah, super cool. Super cool. And I think that Pay UK is like a payment app built on quant in the UK. You know, partnered with Ripple. And what do we see being advertised, you know, in it's like the major London subway. I forget the name of it. It's like a, what?
I think it's the Tube.
The Tube. And then there's like some sort of area at London that's so super popular. But that's where it's like so popular. And that's where the advertising is. So again, I think that I could see Ripple and Quant being really good partnerships like in this area. So super excited about it. Yeah.
So that's number 4. Quant is number 4.
Yeah. And so let's just talk about Chainlink. Okay. Chainlink's been really quiet, and I think it's a great time to accumulate some Chainlink. Chainlink hit $50 during the bull cycle. Chainlink brings interoperability to smart contracts for all on-chain, off-chain analysis. So it's going to bridge the old with the new, right? Because it's an oracle. So it brings real-time data. In order to have successful smart contracts, which everything is going to be a smart contract. Ro and I decide to get remarried, renew our vows. We want another, I don't even know if you do that, get another wedding license. I guess you don't do that. But if we did, we could actually have a smart contract. In order for that to work, you need an oracle. The main oracle that has institutional adoption is Chainlink.
Yeah, amazing.
Yep. Swift partnered with Chainlink to bring that interoperability. Now, we're not using the token at all. It's nothing to do with like cross-border payments and settlements. It's just bringing that interoperability. But to be that good to do that, and again, I don't even know if this will be like the final, because they say it's like going into like a pilot phase, and I kind of feel like it's already done, right? But, you know, we'll see how this whole thing plays out. But mass institutional adoption, Associated Press, like anything sports, betting, it's all Chainlink. All Chainlink.
Yeah, awesome. One of my favorites.
Is it one of your favorites? It's one of my favorites.
I don't have a heart. I don't think I have much in it, but it is one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it.
I like it. I like it. All right. So let's talk about Energy Web Token.
EWT. Yeah.
EWT. Right? Yep. Energy Web Token. So it's the name of it's not like the company, but it's Energy Web Foundation. And when I think about a carbon neutral based system, the modernization of our electric grid, Energy Web Token. Energy Web Token. Okay. So I've been doing a much deeper dive on this. It's actually so big that I'm putting a class together for Two Women in Crypto, because this is something that we can learn, and this is something where we can stake our energy web token and earn passive income, you know, in a semi-friendly type of way.
Semi-friendly. There's the caveat.
Yeah.
You know, the process, I mean, all of this takes remapping the brain and rethinking how you earn residual income. So it's all a process and big learning curves, but it's all doable. So.
No, it's super doable. And I think listening to the information over and over again, and just go to these websites, you know, just look at some of the DeFi platforms just to get familiar with them. Because it's like when you first see something, like you first see a trading chart, it's overwhelming. But then the more you work with it and the more you look at it, you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And, you know, every single person can do this. If I can do this, every single person can do this.
Yeah.
And when I think about the narrative of moving to a zero carbon economy, energy web token.
Got it.
All right. All right. And with that said, when I think about this winter coming up, and the Energy Web Foundation is partnered with the country of Germany, and all eyes on Germany because they're in an energy crisis. Let's see if they use this crisis, right? We talk about this all the time. We have a problem, you know, people will obviously react, and the solution will be the modernization of the grid using the energy web token. So I'll be following this all winter. Kelly and I will be, you know, giving everybody updates. I think this is really, really important. And this token can just be, the potential for the future is so big.
Yeah. Lots of big changes.
Not that easy to buy. I bought mine on KuCoin, and I know not everybody has access to KuCoin, but, you know, I'll do some more research on where, you know, where we can buy it as well.
And those things are changing. I mean, I think just recently coins get added to various exchanges every now and again. So we'll just keep on top of it.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So I think I've made a list. Like, I know, so the country of Germany, right, is partnered with Energy Web. We have the state grid partnered with Energy Web. There's a French multinational energy company. And then we have Duke Energy, Engie, which is another up and coming crypto carbon neutral platform that we want to keep an eye out on. Mm-hmm. And just PG&E, like just Shell, Siemens, TEPCO, like just so all the energy companies are going to go through a modernization. And I just wouldn't be surprised if they use this token to create, you know, this new energy carbon-based economy. You know, right. Like I think about some of the technology that's being developed. Like, imagine, Kelly, you have your house, right? And then you have a garage, and you make the side wall a Tesla wall that collects the energy, and then you could sell it to your neighbors if they run out of energy, which is super concerning because we should all have energy. It should be a public utility, in my opinion, that's free for everyone.
Well, for sure.
Right. But we'll be able to get the Tesla wall and sell that energy. So talk about another way to have passive income, you know, right. Especially if we start building our tokens, stake our tokens, and earn more tokens, right? So it's pretty cool.
Yep. Pretty creative.
Yeah, I love it. All right. So let's talk about, what else are we talking about here? We're talking about Cardano. Yeah, let's talk about Cardano. So ADA is the token for Cardano. And when I think about their adoption, a lot of their adoption is based out in like Africa. Africa is going to be one of the most significant emerging economies. that will be, right? Because their population is strong. They're really bringing in so much of this technology. And I think, Cardano's partnerships with Ethiopia and like 7 other countries in Africa, I'm looking at their scalability because, again, there's a lot of competitors like Cardano is in competition with Ethereum and all these other blockchain smart contract platforms. But when I look at Hydra is the next scaling solution that will be implemented in early 2023. I think that's when it's going to be the game changer for Cardano for mass adoption.
And Hydra is built on the Cardano blockchain. And can you share what Hydra is?
Yeah, so Hydra is the scaling solution.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, just like Matic is going to be is one of the scaling solutions for Ethereum, Hydra is a scaling solution for Cardano, and we're going to be able to do more transactions than any other blockchain around. Okay. And I think this is one of the reasons why they took their time and really tested everything. Because in order for any mass adoption to occur, even if it's just with loyalty programs or like our NFTs, even with digital art, we need scalability because the fees have to stay super low, if not free, because it will become free like down the road or so cheap, right? But it also needs to be scalable so we don't have this congestion, so and I think that's another reason why Matic does so well with minting your NFTs, because why would you mint your NFT on Ethereum when you can mint it on Polygon for a fraction of the cost?
Right.
So Cardano is really going to be, bringing this alive. And again, we're also going to have a little bit more of the maturity with their decentralized finance platform. So it's like we have Flare, we have Cardano, we have Polkadot, we have Cosmos, we have Ethereum, we have Algorand. They all have DeFi. This is the future of finance. And they'll all connect.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
And I think they'll all connect and interoperate in a way that like you can just choose how to make that transaction the quickest and the cheapest.
Yeah.
And that's how we'll
to have that option would be great.
Yeah. And it's definitely coming, So it's not like picking the winners and losers. It's who's going to win the most, right? Because to me, they're all winners. They're all winners, Awesome. All right. So, we talked about Matic. Let's touch base on Engine. And I know this is something I touched base on before, but I think they make my top 10 list. I think part of it is because I like some diversity. I don't want to be like my background is in finance. Like most of my clients were in finance. And when I think about Engine bringing gaming and NFTs to like a mass scale, mass adoption, I think about the Engine platform. Okay. Engine is partnered with Microsoft. Okay. And they do work with Minecraft, right? To bring the gaming.
Right, which is huge.
Right. Which is so big. And when I think about Engine, they have a lot of competition. I think some of them is Optimism, Immutable X, and I think there's another one. But when I look at Engine, it's like some of these platforms need one big winner. Look at Axie Infinity. And when they had that one game get so popular, their coin went to the moon and beyond.
Yeah, it absolutely did. I can't remember the name of the game, but yeah.
Yeah. So when I think about Engine, it definitely has that potential. And they partnered with Polkadot with Affinity, right? And Affinity was built as one of the parachains on Polkadot, partnered with Engine to bring NFT NFTs to the masses. And if they can pull this off, I think it could be a huge winner in the next bull cycle.
And engine is spelled ENJIN. Just again, because I know when I first started, I kept on looking for that G in there, but just as an FYI for anybody.
Yeah, no, thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, and it's really cool because, you know, and I like some of these gaming platforms. Like I love Sandbox, I love Decentraland, I love Gala Games. I think Gala Games didn't make the list, but I hold Gala. They're working on 28 different games right now. They're so well funded. They have a great development team. They've been developing hard all throughout the bear market. And again, if they have one good game, I think it's trading at just under 4 cents right now, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, when we think about some of these home run potential hitters, you only need like one or two, you know, to really make life-changing wealth, you know, what, and whatever that means to you, you know?
Absolutely.
So yeah, kind of cool. So yeah, so what we're gonna see, I think Meta's stock like plummeted because they invested so much money into their virtual reality like metaverse, and it kind of flopped out.
I think it was last time I looked, and it's been probably a couple of weeks, but it was below the C19 lows, is how badly they had plummeted. And it would be interesting because I don't know how many people really use. I don't know. I'm out of the social media world very much so, but I don't know how prominent Meta really is anymore. There's this instability I feel with it and with all these other things that are happening. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those things that when we look at younger folks, I don't think they're on Facebook.
Mm-mm.
You know, so again, I think a lot of the older people still use it to share pictures and, you know, things
Sure.
like that. But
Yeah.
you know, I think Facebook's trying to survive. They see the future and they'll try to bridge it. And they do have Oculus, and I know a lot of people, a lot of young people are just giving up their data. Parents, if you're out there, I mean, this is something that we really want to stop. But again, it's the same thing. Like if you don't know about a central bank digital currency, I don't think you're going to be thinking about how these companies are manipulating your children's data. So,
Right.
you know, we're just in a really weird spot, like worldwide. But I don't know. I want Facebook to fail. I don't think these people, I think it's been weaponized. I think they've done really bad things to strip our social fabric. Like society like fell apart during COVID, you know, like, you know, so many different factors. And I think that Facebook really exacerbated the problem. So I would love to see Facebook fall. But at the same time, we have a page, Two Women in Crypto, on Facebook because small businesses use it as a marketing
Sure.
tool. And we're taught, hey, if you want to survive, you got to do it. You got to be on YouTube, not Odyssey. And so I think we'll slowly transition over.
Yeah.
And again, in the next year or two, just think every day that goes by, there's just more and more development on these platforms. So, you know, who knows? We'll see what happens. Meta can come out with some huge home run thing. We'll see. You know, Gala Games partnered with Fortnite. That's huge,
It is
huge
huge. Yep.
partnerships that Gala
Fortnite's is a
has.
huge game. Yep.
Yeah.
Huge game.
So, you know, I think everything's just up in the air right now. So we'll see. You know, we'll see what happens. Okay, so we kind of touched base on Cardano, and let's talk about some VeChain. So Sonny Liu, he's the the CIO of VeChain. I think that we are going to see supply chain issues until we can get 5G implemented, which no one wants, but we're getting it. And once that happens, the sensors to connect the Internet of Things is going to be on such a massive scale that VeChain can be used to track and trace goods,
Yeah.
services, our food supply. And I think that we'll see things become more efficient. We'll also see autonomous semi trucks on the road. right? I saw this really interesting video the other day of Amazon Prime has, like, remember those blimps when we were young? Those big
Mm-hmm.
blimps that would fly up in the sky? Well, these big blimps are coming to your town, and it's called Amazon. And the drones go to the blimps that act as floating, I know, but they act as floating warehouses. The drones go pick your package and just fly down and drop your package off at your front step.
All righty then. All righty then. Jetsons, meet the Jetsons. I mean, it's really, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. You can't ignore it.
Right. So when I think about the authenticity of goods and services as artificial intelligence takes over our economy with drones are going to be everywhere. And if you've never really seen them, just type in Amazon Air.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh boy. All right.
And look at, because my whole thing, right, Kel, it's like mere exposure. If I'm exposed to something, I won't have this anxiety reaction when I see it for the first time in real life, right?
Or when the sky starts playing commercials as a hologram.
Yeah. Oh my God, here's another song. It's raining drones.
There you go. I told you we had a conversation before we started about this whole thing. You got it down.
Kelly wants me to do shorts and make up words that pop in my head throughout the day and sing little ditties about what's going on.
Oh, I think it'd be great. I mean, I just think it's entertaining. It makes you laugh. I mean, that's the entertaining part. It just makes you chuckle, but there's truths in all of it. And if it makes people think, and if we can reach that majority of the population, which is the majority of the population that spends a lot of time just flipping through things, finding these entertaining reels, I think it'd be a hoot. I think you'd have so much fun. So anyway, we're vying for that. I'm vying for that.
All right, we're going to talk about this. So here's the thing. So, like, when you do like TikTok, right, and the videos are 30 seconds or less, it's proven to cause brain damage. So I don't participate. And how you become successful for views on, like, for what Kelly and I are doing is a lot of TikTok videos, short videos to reach, because people's attention span is that long.
Yep.
So, I mean, we want to help people get educated. So we're going to figure something out. Maybe
we will.
Longer than 3 minutes, shorter than 5 or 10. We'll figure this out.
Yeah.
We're learning. Yeah, we're not social media people. So that's just the way it is, right?
That's right. But we're doing our work here, and that's what matters.
Yes. Oh, and I want everybody to get a pen and paper and write this coin down before we stop, because I think we're going to do like some runner-ups and things like that. But Arbitrum, ARBITRUM, it's not even released yet. It's going to be a competitor to Optimism, Immutable X, and Engine on the Ethereum platform. Okay, so this could be something that's so big.
Okay.
Awesome.
Let me just take a look at it. I know you had some other ones noted.
Yeah.
You want to run through some of your extras, and then we'll just do a rundown of 1 through 10 after that.
Okay, cool. So I think that Algorand is going to do phenomenal during the next bull cycle. Okay. The partnerships, the leadership, Silvio McCauley's just, people say is the smartest person in blockchain. I think they're going to do really, really well. And again, they're building out their decentralized finance right now, partnership with FIFA, the World Soccer Cup. Okay.
Yep.
This is big time, bringing these NFTs into your home, kind of a deal, right? Hedera Hashgraph, okay, I think is really big for institutional adoption.
Sure.
We've talked about that before. And I think you hold Zilliqa, right?
I hold both, and they're also Hedera is also part of the ISO 222.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
Which I think has been delayed until March 2023 with the SWIFT system.
Which is right around the corner.
Yeah, and we knew this was going to happen. These things are always delayed. When we talk about changing and, we're leaving this legacy financial system into a new financial system that's going to be based on digitization, tokenization. I mean, we're talking about changing the entire financial system. Hey, it's going to take like a long time, you know? And it's such a good reminder because sometimes I'm like, oh, we're so early. And then I look at Quant and I was like, I never bought Quant, kind of missed it. I knew about it. But again, I own XRP, I own Stellar, I own Algorand, I own Hedera. How many tokens can you possibly own? Right?
You can own a lot.
Right?
Right.
I mean, we still pay for things in dollars. We have to make sure we have money on the side at all times, right?
Yeah.
Especially if the grid went down, right? Then all of a sudden dollar becomes king. And we need dollars to dollar cost average into our favorite projects. So we want to, always think about that.
We do.
Yep. So, and another thing I want to talk about too is like some of the reasons why I didn't pick Monero, Pulse Chain, and Hex. They're not regulated. And until I see regulate, this is my personal opinion. I'm super bullish on Pulse Chain, Hex, love Monero. I wrote a song about it. We did a remake of Hit Me With Your Best Shot by Pat Benatar. Monero is private. It's a private cryptocurrency. The IRS used $600 million trying to hack the Monero blockchain. They don't want it. Will it be regulated out of existence? I don't know. We don't know.
We don't know anything, but we still have our favorites.
But yeah, it's still some of our favorites. And I always like to tell people, like, it's okay. Let's diversify. But like my idea is we know Bitcoin and Ethereum already adopted, already have clarity as commodities in the United States and all throughout the world, right? We're seeing more regulation come in. We don't know for sure how central bank digital currencies, one, we don't know if they're going to be successful. We how much are people going to actually, I guess everyone's going to use them. But like, we're not sure, I want us to rise and stop it, but I don't know. You have to know what it is to even know that it's a thing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But I think for a lot of people, it's going to come out of the woodwork and they're going to question it. But that's why we show up and do what we talk about.
Right. But I don't know if they're going to question it, because when I look at Cyber Polygon and I look at what some of the world leaders, they have gotten together and they talked about a cyber attack, which they keep saying Russia's going to do a cyber attack. So if there's a cyber attack and you have $10,000 in the bank and they say, hey, Andrea, you just lost your 10 grand in the bank, download the Fed app and your money will magically appear in your new app. Would I download the app to get my $10,000? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's why I think that there's going to be that they're going to find a way. Sorry, it's not that I'm being pessimistic. I think I'm being more of a realist. It's just they're going to have to find a way to make it happen and force people into it. And something like that would do exactly that.
And I feel like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because why else would you want money that's so centralized? And let's use the term money loosely here. A central bank digital currency is not money. It's a program.
Right.
That's controlled by a handful of people that can, turn your wallet on and off or monitor how many carbon credits you're using. Right. So I'm not a big fan of it. I'm a zero fan of it. I think it's against human people. You can't you can control people by like, it's like you dangle that carrot, right? And you're just keep trying to, I don't know. It's going to be so interesting. I'm very interested to see. But again, that's why I always go back to Bitcoin, because there's over 13,000 nodes. It is not, no one owns Bitcoin. We don't, I think there's some people who say we know who started it. Some people think the United States government started it. We don't know. But there's 13,000 nodes, and they can't print more Bitcoin, right? Like the Fed can just print more and more and more money, right? To make things inflationary, to create these boom and bust cycles that we're constantly in. And it's always the average person that's holding the bag at the end, right? So that's why I'm such a big fan of Bitcoin and the Lightning Network. The Lightning Network works, right? It's just another payment app. You can download it on your phone. And I was on LinkedIn last week, and I was watching one of the convenience stores in Bulgaria, and they got their phone and they got a bag of peanuts, and boop, they pay, and they walked out and they were like, I just paid in Bitcoin.
Yep. There you go. I mean, it's coming. It'll be here.
Yeah, well, it's already here, right? Yeah. Like we could use our Bitcoin at overstock.com. We can use our Bitcoin at Amazon, but
who's going
to use their Bitcoin to pay for anything? Like use the dollar, like you're down 10, 20, 30, 40%, like go to the grocery store. Yeah. And like, even like the price of gas is going to go up. So it's just, once we make that transition, I think we'll start using more of our cryptocurrency, or living like what Kelly said before, we're going to stake our coins, and then maybe we'll just live off of our staked coins, off our earnings to go and purchase, some of our goods and services. So super interesting concept. Yeah. Yeah. Same with Ethereum. Like who would do anything with their Ethereum right now? I mean,
anything out there. Now is not the time to be spending your coins for anything. You're just hodling on. We're just hodling.
Yeah, that's it. We're going to hodl. Right? Yeah. So, okay. So our first two coins, we got Bitcoin and Ethereum, especially when there's blood on the streets, right? My buy zone for Ethereum is $1,000. I got in at the beginning of the bear market and I flipped it, right? So I just did kind of like a swing trade. I have my long-term Ethereum bags that I just hold to the side, and then I just, I use this one just to kind of flip and make a couple extra bucks. And I do it. Sometimes it's just fun. Yep. But again, I think, I'm going to wait. We're going to watch the market. We're going to see what happens after midterm elections, and then really dollar cost average back into Ethereum and just hold it for the next bull cycle. Not financial advice. It's just what I'm doing. Right. And I think all-time high for Ethereum was between $4,500 and almost $5,000. So again, moving from proof of work to proof of stake with major institutional money coming in. Okay. Like accredited investors getting into Bitcoin and Ethereum. I can really see a significant price rise in the next couple of years.
Absolutely. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP.
XRP is number 3 because we have the lawsuit is coming to an end. Kelly and I touched base on this. We kind of did this fun thing with two women in crypto, let's speculate and guess at the price. And I think I guessed $3-4. And now I'm like, I don't know, because the bear market is so bad. But at the same time, when I see their marketing campaigns and I could see once the lawsuit is over, then we start seeing Bank of America, Santander, who knows what else, right? American Express, they're partnered with. But a lot of their partnerships are outside that we know of, are outside the United States, and they're doing really, really well. They're huge in Japan. They're so big, in England with partnerships. So again, the United States, that we have the reserve currency. It'll be the last to kind of move into this digital world fully, right? Because we have to de-dollarize. And then, but I could see XRP growing more and more, and just with their partnerships with the global elite government, you can't discount that, and again, XRP isn't good or bad. It's a technology. It's a bridge currency. And I think when all of these countries want to trade using their own central bank digital currency, because that's what it's going to be, what's going to be the bridge currency? Can we see it being an XRP, an Algorand, a Stellar? We'll see. We'll see. But I think they'll all be used. We just don't know how much. And the hype alone on how long this lawsuit has taken will bump the price. It's going to be well over $1, like in my opinion. I'm still shooting for that $3, but we'll see. When bear market, yeah,
all of us are. So, we're going to wrap things up a little bit here because, we're going to get, those are our top 3 coins, right? So we have Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and in the notes, I'll put our whole list of 10 plus that we recommend. We highly encourage you, lean into it, do some research, see what feels right for you. Still looking for a bottom. I mean, I think we're going to be in the place of putting in a bottom for a long time here, but a good opportunity to do some dollar cost averaging in, and then you'll be ready to do some dollar cost averaging out as we have some nice little pumps. So are there any closing notes for you?
Yeah. So, I think it's a good point. Like what I'm looking for is for midterm elections to be over. I'm looking for the Fed to pivot. It looks like they're starting to pivot now. So let's keep an eye on this. I'm looking for interest rates to go from 0.75 to 0.5 to 0.2.5 to let's hold off. Let's see how the numbers play out. There's a lot of macro events. Kelly, you mentioned Credit Suisse. They're coming out with their restructuring program. So we're pre-recording this early Thursday morning, so we don't know what the numbers are for Credit Suisse, but I'm looking for some sort of shift. And once that shift happens, we got energy crisis in the winter. We have the bond market with the UK. I'm looking for some sort of stability, and then I'll start heavily dollar cost averaging in. So I am waiting for these pivots to happen.
And they are happening, so stay tuned. Stay tuned for more world news.
And if you're free, you want to hop on the call tomorrow, 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. It's all Q&A. Ask us anything, and looking forward to the class.
Always. And as usual, we encourage you to
hodl on.
Hodl on. Your hosts for Two Women in Crypto are Andrea Caldero and Kelly Lair. You'll find more information and details regarding the Two Women in Crypto membership, educational and informative class and event offerings, and more via their website, twowomenencrypto.com. Both Andrea and Kelly are available for speaking events and offer private consultations focused on helping individuals navigate the future. Until next time, hodl on.